Is there a chance that God is trying to deliver you from a problem that has been pestering you and He is unable to do so? Is there a case study where we can see that God is trying to help you, but it is not happening? There is some reason why it is not happening, and we will look at the case study why. Okay. Um, Although being a king, still having a slave mindset. We will title this talk like that. Being a king, but under a slave mindset. Something like that. So Ezekiel chapter 20, here a bunch of elders. These people are elders. Elders means mayors, politicians, people who are in places of power, who can execute a decision. Okay. These people come to inquire of the Lord from this prophet Ezekiel. Okay, that's why the book is called Ezekiel, and we are going through chapter 20. Now, here they come and talk to him, and God tells Ezekiel, they are coming to inquire me of a solution, but I am not going to let them inquire me. In simple words, I do not want to give you a solution, even though I have one. This is what God is saying. But why is that? So then God gives his case. Okay, there is a defense from God's side as to why he's behaving like this, and he's explaining himself. This is the reason why you are doing like this. So verse 3, it says, I will not let, as surely as I live, I will not let you inquire of me. This is what God is saying. And now look at the case. Verse 4. So he's telling Ezekiel, confront them of why the reasons. Confront them with the detestable practices of their fathers. Apparently, the elders' parents, the parents or the forefathers of this entire generation they have been practicing something detestable. And he says this, although I am your God, I am the Lord your God, I uplifted you, the house of Jacob, and I revealed myself to you in Egypt when you were in slavery. And I brought them out of Egypt into a land I had searched out. So God himself personally has searched out for a land flowing with milk and honey, the most beautiful of all lands. And he said to them, get rid of the vile images you have set your eyes upon. Vile means something really bad and wicked. Images. Okay? That you have set yourself, their eyes are set to these images. And do not defile yourself with the idols of Egypt. So what does this mean? So Egypt treated these people like slaves, okay? Always telling them, reminding them for 400 years, you are slaves. You are nothing but slaves. You will end up being slaves. Your kids will end up being slaves. You will live a life of slavery. Now imagine some situations which we are struggling. It will go on for years. And even our conscience, forget our friends and neighbors, even our conscience will start saying this to us. This is what my life is going to be. And you know what? We are thinking about that day and night, right? Of how we have fallen into this trouble. It might be our own doing. It might not be our doing. Even if it might be our doing, here's what. When we fix our eyes upon it, that becomes our idol. And God does not want his children to idolize anything. Do you know the reason why God does not want his kids to idolize anything else? Because we are the children of God. In short, we are the image or the direct imprint of God here on earth. For us not to recognize this truth that we are the children of God, God's word is living, breathing, and we are the living, breathing, walking temples of God. If we don't have that conviction and that faith, and we start idolizing something else, like how the Israelites they have idolized their slavery. Their slave mindset has been passing on through them even when God has delivered them into a land flowing with milk and honey. God has given them a land flowing with milk and honey. Even then, this fear factor, this slave mindset, this buddhi, this, they say, right, that buddhi has still not yet gone. And God is saying, these are the vile images, these are the idols that you've carried from Egypt. Not realizing that I am your father, that I am God. I will provide you everything. Everything I will provide you. I will take care of you. Your property I will take care of you. Your children I will take care of you. Everything will be taken care by me. You just have to trust me. Have faith in me. Remember and know that you are a king. Why? Because you are the child of a king. Therefore, think like a king. Stop behaving like a slave. Stop feeling like a slave. Stop thinking like a slave. Keep believing that you are a king. Automatically, you will not be a slave. It can be some emotional burden, some realistic burden, some legal issues, some family problems, some financial problems, some health problems, some mental issues. Whatever you're going, your own conscience that keeps pricking you. All these things. God says, remember, you are a king. Why? Because I, your father, am a king. Okay? And it hurts God. And that is why, with this mindset, oh, I'm a slave to those things, I can't overcome this, I can't come out of this situation, I don't see a solution in this, oh, I'll die, end up dying like this is what my life is going to be, oh, look at my kids also might go through the same issue. No. Get rid of these vile images, and these are detestable practices. Why these are detestable practices? Because we are thinking about it day in and day out. Day in and day out, we keep pondering about this. And God calls them vile images, detestable practices. Now, they would not listen to me. They did not get rid of the vile images. This is verse 8. They had set their eyes, so nor did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Everything that they had started idolizing, that something is greater than them. No, instead of understanding they are great because they are the children of the great one. And so the only thing that they need to set their eyes on was God. God, we are your kids. We are the living, breathing kids of you. And you are here for us. We have nothing to be worried about. All things are taken care. Are you a king with a slave's mindset? You probably know that God has invested so much of love in you. There is a lot of love. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of commitment. All of these things are there. But are you still a king with a slave mindset? God is calling you to be a king. Think like a king, act like a king, walk like a king, and you will end up being a king. Kings and queens, right? Sons and daughters. God bless.